How's it going, everybody? Ed here, and today we're going to be talking about the fourth installment in the Michael Bay films, Transformers: Age of Extinction. If you don't want to hear all the spoilers, click away from the video. If you don't really care about Transformers, click away from the video and watch one of my other ones. If you don't really want to hear me sit here talk about robots for 20 minutes, then, well, that's your problem. Why did you click on this video? Anyway, my whole beef about everything is that people keep asking me, or not my beef, but people just keep asking me, Ed, what did you think about the movie? So I thought I would make a video just to kind of talk about the movies in general, my opinions on everything. Because I've never done one of these before. I never really talk about the movies because I just feel like 1,000,001 people do that. And honestly, probably no one's going to give a shit about this video because who would care about my opinions? But anyway, I thought I'd make one just for the hell of it. It's my channel. I can do whatever I want. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about Transformers 4, Age of Extinction. So to get this video started, let's go back to the summer of 2007. I was 13 years old, and I had seen the first trailer for Transformers, the movie. Shia LaBeouf as the main character, Linkin Park doing the music. It was an amazing, beautiful, magical time, because all of my three favorite things in the world were being rolled into one big, epic movie. At the time, I mean, again, I was 13. I didn't give a shit about who was directing. I didn't give a shit about, oh, they're live action, they look like giant piles of trash, blah, blah, blah. I didn't give a shit about that. I was just excited that they were expanding the franchise of something that I really, really loved. So I went and I saw the movie with my mom, and I loved it. The first scene where Blackout comes in, he transforms, my jaw dropped, and that scene was just magic, just pure magic. It was the coolest thing to me. And I just thought it was so neat that they were finally doing a live-action Transformers movie. Again, I didn't really care who was in it or who was doing it. And at the time, a lot of people hate Shia LaBeouf. I love him. I still think he's a great actor. I still love anything that he's in, basically. I grew up watching him in movies like Holes or the series Even Stevens and stuff, and I love that sort of stuff. Just making sure my time doesn't stop because my camera keeps pausing for some reason. But yeah, I thought it was awesome. And then I went to go see the second one, and I thought it was great at the time, just because robots on the big screen. And I didn't really care that they were making all these, you know, hilariously dirty racist jokes, and the poop jokes, and the twins, and the plot being all messed up. I just didn't care. I didn't care about that at all. I just cared about the fact that, again, giant robots were on the screen. And then, when the third movie came around, Dark of the Moon, I was so excited for Dark of the Moon. And by then, I was 17, and I was really into Transformers. I had gotten out of it for a couple years in between the second and the third one, and then in between those two. And when the third one came out, I was, like, really getting back into it, and I thought it was crazy awesome. I thought it was awesome that they were doing another one, and I thought the movie in general was awesome. Again, a lot of people gave it flack for some reason, but I thought it was the best out of the three. I really loved the first, and then after watching the trilogy a lot, I realized the middle one is just not as good as I thought it was, but I'll still watch it. I mean, I don't think it's not terrible, I guess I should say, to me. But yeah, in general, again, the point I'm trying to get across is I like the Michael Bay movies. I like them all. I think it's really cool that he came out and he's doing these live adaptations of the Transformers. It did not ruin your childhood. It did not ruin my childhood, because I grew up watching, even though I didn't grow up watching Generation 1, I grew up watching, like, Armada and Energon and whatever other series were going on around that time. And, you know, since I watched the Michael Bay movies, and even if I didn't like them, it didn't ruin my childhood. It didn't take my characters and kill them. It just added another universe to this giant multiverse series, whatever you want to call it, Transformers. There's so many different timelines, and it just added another one. And even if you don't really like the Michael Bay movies, you have to admit, if it weren't for the movies, the franchise and the toys and everything probably would have gone downhill. Because not a lot of people really know or even read the comics, so the movies are where the money comes in for Hasbro. And again, this is all just my opinion. I don't know if a statistical fact is the fact that money comes in from Hasbro from the movies, but in general, I think it is. I love the Generations line the most. The Generations, like the comic toys back there. I love the IDW comics. The IDW comics are my favorite thing to read over and over and over again. But I just love Transformers as a whole. And now, while the movie designs are very, very different, very, very clunky, and very, very realistic, honestly, that's the best approach they could have got. Well, maybe not the best, but and personally, I think it was a good approach. They could have made them more flat and make them look like, you know, the original characters a little more. I definitely think they could have done that. But in real life, in realistic terms, if you're trying to make a realistic movie about Transformers, they're not going to look like they do in the cartoon. I think there are a couple of designs that they could have gone with better, but I'm not going to get into all that. You can disagree with me all you want. A lot of people already have, but whatever. Anyway, I rambled on for 6 minutes now. So time to talk about Age of Extinction. So again, if you don't want spoilers, my thoughts on Age of Extinction, I think it's the best Michael Bay movie that they've done yet, period. I know that he was talking about these 3 movies are kind of tie, the next 3, including the 4th one, so 5 and 6. I think they're going to make 6. Whatever, the next 3 are going to tie in together, and they're going to be, you know, their own set. They're still going to be part of the original 3 movies, and they're all going to be a timeline together, but they're coming in like sets of 3. So, as anybody knows who's seen the movie, the trailers, or pretty much anything, the 4th movie takes place after the Battle of Chicago, 5 years after. The government has terminated all contracts with the Transformers, Autobot, Decepticon. Well, I don't think the government really made contracts with the Decepticons, but they cut all contracts and they are no longer working with the Transformers. And they're sending out these SWAT teams basically to hunt down and kill any remaining Transformer they find. They don't care if it's Autobot, Decepticon, whatever. Now the movie also starts off with a, well, not start, yeah, it's in the beginning, with a really, really brutal scene of them killing Ratchet, which is like, wow, he was one of the original Transformers. They're slowly killing off literally the entire original team. So they killed off, you know, Jazz in the first movie because he was kind of part of the original squad. They killed Ironhide and Dark the Moon, and now they've killed Ratchet. So that leaves basically the main characters of Optimus and Bumblebee left. And again, if you have eyeballs and have seen anything to do with the movie, there's 3 new Autobots that have joined the scene. Hound, which is a mixture of Cup and Bulkhead, voiced by John Goodman, which was hilarious, by the way. Bulkhead, I keep wanting to call him Bulkhead. Hound was honestly the funniest thing about the movie. He was so great. The humor that he did was just perfect. And in a couple of scenes, I really thought he was going to die, and he didn't. So I'm really happy about that. So I just want to get that out of the way. Hound is an awesome character, and I cannot wait to find his toy. But anyway, so, you know, Age of Extinction starts off with them basically, you know, killing Ratchet and blah, blah, blah. And they're working with one Transformer named Lockdown who came to Earth, and he's after Optimus. And the government is like, they're working with another company that's like, we made this metal and we can make Transformers out of it, but they're, you know, good Transformers and we can radio control them. And the government is like, well, we'll give you the metal from the Transformers. And Lockdown is like, I'll give you this seed thing that will make a giant thing of metal, because that's how the original creators of the Transformers made inhabitable worlds for us. So we're gonna give you this thing. And so basically, long story short, government is hunting all the Transformers. They're willing to just kill people to get them because they see all of them as an alien threat now. Which, honestly, I don't see why this didn't happen in the first place. It sort of did, but whatever. Also, there's a loophole with the whole theory thing. Someone mentioned that in the first movie, they mentioned, or in Dark of the Moon, or whatever it was, that all human technology was reversed engineered from Cybertronian technology when they found the crashed Ark on the moon. So why are they all obsessed with transformtanium, or whatever they called it, if the tech from all of the world originally came from the Transformers? Probably, my opinion in it is that they found new ways to use it, because they use it to like morph it into whatever they want in the movie, which is really neat. So I think they just kind of found a new use for all the metal that they already had found. But regardless, Lockdown is there because he wants Optimus. So he's like, I'll help you kill all the Transformers if you just let me take Optimus. And in the trailer, in the movie, and honestly, just in general, Lockdown is working. You kind of figure this out. Lockdown is working for a higher power. And you can see this in the trailer where he kicks Optimus down and he says, "You think you were born? You were made, and they want you back." And what he says in the movie is that your creators want you back, or the line's extended a bit. But, you know, this had me startled and excited. I really, like, going into this movie, I'm like, oh my god, you know, Optimus isn't a regular Transformer. We're gonna find out, like, who created the Transformers. And in the beginning of the movie, you get to see a scene where some alien ship is, like, terraforming a planet. That's where all the Nautilus, the circular ships came from. And they start, there's an alien finger, and that's all you see as to the whole alien thing. But I thought it was really interesting that they're going into this. So I'm thinking, oh my god, they're going to go into, like, Unicron, or the Quintessence, or Jaxus, or G-Axis, however you pronounce the name. But, like, I was really, really excited that they were going to do that. And so they almost capture Optimus, and then the Autobots make a quick save Optimus, bring him off the ship. Mark Wahlberg saves his daughter, again, whatever. Yeah, again, I won't go into the whole plot of the movie, I guess. I was gonna go for it, like, describe it word for word, but the movie is, again, almost 3 hours long, and a lot of people are like, well, you could have cut an hour out of that, and it wouldn't have done anything to the movie. And honestly, they're right. But why wouldn't you want to have another hour of giant robots kicking ass? I thought it was awesome. I honestly wish it was a little longer. But anyway, about the whole Optimus thing. The movie ends with Optimus essentially going in, killing Lockdown, and then killing the government. Yes, Optimus kills the government agent who's behind basically them hunting down the Transformers. He shoots him, and it's so brutal. Optimus is brutal in this movie. He's mad. And Bay said you get to see a mad Optimus in this movie, and he was right. Optimus is just pissed. He's pissed that the Transformer, or all of his brethren, are being killed, and then he sees basically Ratchet's disembodied head, and they storm in, like, in broad daylight, they just storm into the base, or what was it called? The lab where they're doing all the research on the Transformers. And again, it's just, you get to see mad Optimus. It's really, really cool. But anyway, again, the movie ends with Prime killing the guy, being all brutal Prime as he was in this movie. And then he leaves the planet. He tells Mark, he's like, my creator wants me back or something, and I'm gonna go find him. And the movie ends with him going into space. And he's like, I'm coming for you. And that's where the movie ends. And, oh yeah, also, Galvatron. My theory was that he was working for the higher power and was teamed up with Lockdown. Truth is, the humans made Galvatron, and it's Megatron because they used parts of Megatron's head or something or whatever to make Galvatron, and somehow Megatron's old psyche infected the Galvatron body, so he was somewhat reincarnated into this new body. And they were trying to base him on Optimus, which I thought was really cool, because I'm like, are they hinting at, you know, like a Nemesis Prime thing? Because, as you know, Galvatron turns into a truck, and which I think the whole thing was, they were trying to make him look like Optimus was kind of a convenient thing, because Galvatron's original form and most of his forms are it's like a cannon with wheels, and that wouldn't look really good in a live-action movie, in my opinion. It looked awesome in the original movie in '86, but I think they did a really cool thing with the truck. I thought it was Motormaster the entire time, but it turns out it's Galvatron. But anyway, at the end of the movie, he kind of like skulks off, and he's like, "We'll meet again, Prime." So obviously he's gonna be in the next one. It was just this really cheesy, abrupt ending. The Dinobots, you know, again, had a very, very short scene. Why did I say again? I didn't mention that yet. The Dinobots had a very short scene. I'm sure a lot of fans were really perturbed by that, and I don't know, I thought it was really good. I thought they had a good amount, they had a good show. They didn't talk or anything, but you got to see them transform, and they're huge. Like, they're big robots, which was just really cool. Another thing I'd like to address is the fact that everyone always bitches about in the trailer when Optimus is, like, beating the shit out of Grimlock, and they're all like, the original Grimlock would never let Optimus do that. He would stomp on him and be like, me Grimlock, me King, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Yes, he would, because that's the original Grimlock. But if you watch the movie, Optimus isn't beating the shit out of them. He's having, he lets them loose off of lockdown ship because they're being held captive on it. That's another thing that kind of bugged me. They were captive on the ship, and like Optimus just knew about them somehow, and he just let them free. But he battled with Grimlock for dominance over, he's like, you know, we can be partners and blah blah blah, and he was basically going to fight him into submission so he would help the Autobots. And basically any interaction like that is going to happen. I mean, look at Avatar, where you kind of have to jump on and battle the dragon thing for it to trust you. It's hard to explain. It's that sort of thing. But he finally gets Grimlock to submit, and it's not a battle of like, I'm gonna kill you if you don't help us. It's a battle of proving strength and proving that each of them are warriors, and they did that. And the Dinobot scene was just kick-ass. It was so cool. The Dinobots just kind of run through the city, just like eating the enemy units. It was great. But yeah, I thought it was a fantastic movie. Again, this video is really, really choppy and really, really cut up. And, I mean, it's not edited, but my thoughts are just kind of choppy and cut up. I probably could ramble on for another hour about shit, but probably nobody cares that much. So overall, I thought the movie was really good as a beginning and kind of a branch from the last movies to the newer movies. I am very excited for the next movie. They're going to go into the whole alien thing. They're going to go into how higher being created the Transformers. They're going to go into all that sort of stuff. I kind of hope they keep the cast. Honestly, this was the best Autobot cast out of any of the movies, in my opinion. All of them were really, really great characters, and they were really entertaining. And even the humans were awesome in this one. Like, I hate the dramatic, cheesy romance in all the other movies. That's why I love Pacific Rim so much. It wasn't about the romance, it was about the robots. And that's what they needed to do for a lot more of the Transformers movies. And I really think that they did that with this one. Yes, there was the whole boyfriend dramatically kind of saving everyone thing. Yes, there was the whole, I'm the dad, I make the rules. And then at the end, well, you know, you take care of my daughter, boyo, and then the dramatic kiss. I don't like that in my robot movies. But it happened. But it didn't happen a lot in this one, which was appreciated. So thank you, Bay. But yeah, again, in general, I think this was the absolute best movie out of all 4 of the Michael Bay movies that they've made so far. I honestly cannot wait to see the 5th one. I can't wait to see more alien stuff and find out the origin of Optimus and the whatever other Transformers that are involved with it. I think it's a great movie. It had a great cast of Autobots, and all the Transformers were really entertaining. All the humans were entertaining, and I just thought it was generally a really, really good movie. There was a couple human scenes I think they could have cut out of it, like, it was like, alright, get on with the robot thing. I want to see the robots. I don't care about this shit. But in general, I was very, very, very happy with it. I would give it, honestly, a 9 out of 10. It was a really good movie. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this little ramble video. I will be back to making videos very soon. I've recently gotten a job, and we're moving again soon, and it's summer, and I've just been busy with a bunch of stuff, so I really haven't had that much time to make videos. But I do have a couple really, really cool things I want to show off, including my Gerber Tetra and a couple other reviews that I have queued. So, if that's about it. Also, before my time runs out in 35 seconds, I have some Transformers. Do you want me to review them? Because I'm not going to review them if nobody cares. But anyway, this has been Ed with my thoughts on Transformers 4 Age of Extinction. Hope you like this video, and I will see you all next time.